Well, boys, it's out. It's
Hi, get out of here.
Let me make my joke. Okay, it's finally time, boys. Time for the finale of The Legend of Zelda: Laddie's Awakening.
We finally got
did
it.
the right thing.
Look at that. But yeah,
Somewhat. But with that said, yeah, it's time to finally finish off Link's Awakening once and for all, and we're starting things off by leaving the mountain.
why? What's wrong?
Because it's scary.
Because we gotta enter it in style, and of course, you know, we haven't eaten in a long while.
That helps. But that's right. I think there is like a couple other like side things we could do just for dialogue, or
I believe so, yeah, because this is essentially the end-all, be-all part of the game. We should probably check up on Marin, because, yeah, she was essentially, you know, cock-blocked earlier.
Hey, I got another villain, Dracula.
I mean, Dracula, to be fair.
Also, Logan's back.
yeah. Look.
Yeah, hey, Logan.
Yeah.
How was your... Oh, dear God.
You said welcome back to yourself.
Oh, yes, I did. But
It's like, hello, Logan. Hi, Logan. How are you, Logan? I'm good. Thank
doing
you for
great,
asking, Logan.
Thank you for finally, Logan.
Hi,
Someone understands us.
guys!
Get him. Oh, we gotta pick him up.
This ain't gonna be awkward at all.
Thanks, Steve.
This is
Oh no!
Yeah, not going to lie, this is the worst one.
Well, considering how awkwardly shaped it is.
Honestly,
It's either. I think that, our best chance is honestly. Yeah, look at the shape. Yeah, this is only gonna work if we get the head.
Yeah, I was about to say, honestly, I feel like they really should have, like, shortened the length of the stem.
Don't worry, folks. I'll get me that Piranha Plant amiibo yet. Yes, I'm still shocked that's even a thing.
Yeah, I have
He
the
is a fighter in
amiibo.
Smash, so.
I literally was just looking at the amiibo on my shelf over here.
That'll do.
Why isn't it moved?
That looks like a dead piranha plant there.
Okay!
I thought he was gonna say that didn't count, but now that should be enough.
The pipe's on the floor. It counts. So, yeah, we got a Piranha Plant figure.
You know, the flavor that pops out from the pipes.
Yeah, that thing. The thing that got in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, look at that.
And off screen, you just hear an angry.
Aw, but it goes to here.
No better home for it than, you know, right where Marin and Terrence sleep.
They'll wake up every morning and he'll be like, ah!
Hey!
And I'd look at that in the middle of the night.
What do they water these things with? Good question.
Wake up!
Well,
Grab a
last
bush
I
of
checked,
butter,
Blood!
Oh, hello, Pokey.
A pokey.
I was about to
these are
say,
getting
it's
pretty
like, what do
elaborate.
they water them with? Well, last I checked, they watered them with the tears of butthurt Shadow fanboys.
Oh! That's a close one. But also, I agree.
Hold him as if he were your bride.
Gently let it along. But nice. So, but
Why would you drop me? Why would you drop your bride?
that's why Pokies sound like that. Yeah, so we're talking about that. We talked about...
What?
Let's see, we talked about that. We talked about the other games. The Merry Me.
Yeah, the pun.
Oh. So, then we have here... let's see
Actually,
what's
okay,
missing here.
one more, to continue the last conversation in the last video. The one last villain I'll mention, not a video game villain, but definitely oversaturated. I thank God they finally left him in the dust. Dio in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Every single fucking
from how you describe
Yeah.
they try to find any way to shoehorn him into the plot somehow.
Yeah, like
Because it's Dio.
even if he himself is not in it, his presence is somehow felt. And the only time they have not done it is the most recent arc. However, to be fair, the most recent arc is not done yet, so they could still find a way to bullshit him in.
Oh, totally. It just seems like, you know, a rite of passage. There's got to be a Joestar. There's got to be a Dio.
Yeah, I guess so. But as far as Dracula, I will count. I'll say it's okay only because, like, he has been like, and I'm hard pressed to think of any Castlevania game where he isn't like he is like the epitome. Like he is what? Oh, and yeah, you got a good eye to steady hand. Is a lump of rock.
What?
I got a rock.
I think it's called a chamber stone. Oh, it's just one of those
Yeah,
things.
that's your reward for getting all the figures.
It's not
Another
even. It's
fucking chamber stone.
it's blank.
How about
No
this?
champ pays more than 5 rupees. Oh, and then from now on he lowers the rate for all other. Okay.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
always
considering
fine?
there's not much. I
No,
mean, granted, there's not
fine.
much else left to really pick up, and it's like, and I'm just thinking to myself, wait, champs get picked, but what does that make Marin? I thought she was the
Oh.
ultimate champ.
Right,
Also,
she did all that cool stuff.
Oh, it's Bawa, because I was about to say, I thought we already had a Chain Chomp one.
We got Bo, though.
We did, but it was
There
for,
we go. It's a Boa figure.
guaranteed to stay perfectly still. Thank goodness!
Anyway, so you're saying, like, you're saying...
About Dracula?
Yeah.
Well, just that, yeah, he is, like, the big bad. He's, like, the epitome of all the story and the lore and stuff, so that makes a little bit more sense. Like, Shaft existed to try and bring back Dracula. Like, Dracula's always been, like... Dracula's always been, like, Dracula's always been, like, the main baddie in terms of, like, he's been always trying to, like... Every villain's goal is either to become Dracula or bring Dracula back or something.
Okay, so it should be noted, ladies and gentlemen, read this book before you head over to the egg, because this is going to be very important.
Left, up, right, up, down, left, right, BA,
Oh, thank you.
Also, it is randomized per playthrough.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
And in order to read this book, you do need the magnifying lens.
Doubly, oh, boy.
Okay, so those are required for the game. Okay.
Oh, Grandpa!
I get it for,
Oh, no. Hey, man.
How to say please call.
Just for old time's sake.
Stop pestering him.
You're so mean to him.
God, you're a dick.
I mean, in all fairness, the dude does, like... There is promotional material where you actually do see him outside. So, it is kind of weird.
Hello? Yes, don't mind that weirdo in the shed. It's time for you to face the egg of that place.
Tama Ranch.
Tama Ranch.
Be careful, laddie. Bye.
Oh.
Oh, the poor man suffered a heart attack.
Oh, shit!
Don't worry, though. It was all just a dream. It was all just a big, bad dream.
But I did want to, like, touch upon what Logan said about how, like, the whole thing of, like, well, Dracula is kind of the big bad. Like, every baddie is either in service or trying to...
Hold on a second, Hype. We gotta say goodbye to our favorite person.
Thank you for everything, Laddie. You are the kindest boy I know.
Nothing to it.
Thanks.
One day I made a wish to the winged fish.
Huh?
What was the wish? It was... No, it's a secret!
To everybody?
Oh, what about you, Mr. Foxy?
Laddie, someday you will leave this island.
Yeah, just a
I
little
just
guy.
know it in my heart. Don't ever forget me. If you do, I'll never forgive you.
Whoa!
A pretty face like yours, I don't think I'll ever forget. In fact, why don't I play you a tune? Your favorite.
One last duet.
I wonder if this actually triggers something with her.
It doesn't, unfortunately.
Damn, I thought that would have been like... I thought if you played it right next to her, she would sing along with you for a little bit of that.
It would have been fun!
But I also, again, it is still funny to me because, like much earlier on, like before, like the whole Walrus side quest stuff, like you play it right in front of her, and she'll still say that one message, like if you play horribly, even if you've already learned it from her, she's like, not good.
Not good at all. Okay, so Hype, yeah, about Dracula and all villains either being in service to him or whatever, trying to supersede him.
The way
Hey guys, I'm gonna mute my mic for a sec because my mom is vacuuming.
Okay.
That's fine. But I was about to say, it's amusing that you described Dracula that way, Logan, because that was kind of the issue Matt was having with Ganondorf.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But in the sense of the issue with Ganondorf is that, like, I guess the issue with Zelda is that we've been teased. Like,
And she stopped.
We've had. All right, but I'm saying the issue with that is that unlike with Zelda, I feel like we've been teased of other villains. Like we've had Vadi, we've had like
Zant.
other Vadi, and
Other Vadi.
Other body.
The windfish sleeps long and dreamily in the egg above.
All right.
You don't say.
When you play the 8 instruments of the sirens in front of the egg, he will awaken.
Quick, tell me what's gonna happen next time on Dragon Ball.
This, my friend, is the only way for you to leave the island. Next time on Dragon Egg Z!
Thank you. Sorry, that's just what it reminded me of. Continue, James, with the owl.
Well, it's time for us to have our triumphant moment, because up these stairs is the big honking egg that you see in every bit of promotional material in this version of the game and all subsequent other versions. The big egg of the windfish. Sitting on top of what I assume is a volcano.
Oh,
Bertha, giant.
Oh, and by the way, this is one of the only 2 times in the game you need to use the Song of the Windfish.
And
In fact, this is the only mandatory time you need to use it.
Oh
summon
darn!
all the instruments.
I was hoping to have the. This is a nice version.
It is pretty good, though. I wouldn't be. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of thought they would have done something a little more authentic, because this plays around with similar instrumentation like to the original Game Boy version.
Honestly,
yeah.
Honestly, I'm just going to say, go watch that video of the. I forgot his name who did it, but the Ballad of the Windfish played on toys.
Okay.
And on toy instruments, and it sounds amazing.
Alrighty.
And so, with us playing this Ballad of the Windfish, we can finally end this nightmare once and for all.
Let us crack her open.
Now we're gonna summon a giant fat Yoshi.
Oh wait, I forgot to say that I'm allergic to eggs.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. That was kind of anticlimactic.
Play it again.
I wasn't looking.
We gotta play it every single time until the thing finally cracks.
Hooch! Okay. I can smell that right from here!
So, what do we do with
The
this?
time has come. The Windfish waits.
What would you do if he suddenly is like, finally,
Enter
my
the
master
egg.
plan is finally complete.
Master of Time!
And he was the villain all along.
I mean, do we really want to? I mean, it kind of smells it. Yeah, might as well. Into the egg!
So, this is where we're gonna require that puzzle?
That's correct, because the Windfish's egg is the final area of the game, and once you drop down the hole here, that's where the, that whole arrangement of arrows comes into play.
And there's no real enemies.
No enemies.
It was like left, up, right, down.
Up,
Not like I can remember.
Up, right, left. Up, down, left, right, BA start.
Again, it's kind of a blessing that the Switch has native screen cap controls, so we can, memorize that without the need to write it down ourselves.
Code brought to you by the motherfucking Konami.
The one time we actually like Konami.
I almost for some reason had in my mind the idea of you.
Oh, jeez. Do we really want to drop down there?
Not
Well,
really.
James.
Sealy, you're up.
Oh yeah, Celia, this is you.
Because it's time to face the nightmare head on.
We're born of nightmares. To take over this world, we made the Windfish sleep endlessly.
That's mean.
Yeah, seriously.
If the Windfish doesn't wake up, this island will never disappear.
But you also can't leave, so you're imprisoning yourself.
We would have been the masters of this place.
Okay, yeah, modest aspirations. Okay, I can give that.
But
prop.
you had to come here and disrupt our plans.
Sadi?
Yeah, I just don't believe.
You can never defeat us.
The NES commercial.
Let's rumble.
I will say, I always found it funny that for a good chunk of the game, like, the nightmares try to make it seem like it's like this whole fight is sort of a gray area where they're trying to just, survive. But in reality, no, they're still evil pricks that just wanted to take over one dream realm. And so, here it is in all its unholy glory.
The Nightmare.
Phosphora.
Final boss of the game, folks. Let's go.
Is its name just the Nightmare, or...?
I believe so, yes.
Why did you cast me as Nightmare? I'm just curious.
I just felt like it.
Oh.
You haven't been a villain in a long while.
What are you
And
talking
also-
about? I was a villain in Klonoa.
And also, I
You
was
were an
just joking
anti-villain.
And also, I was just joking.
Anti-hero.
Maybe, yeah.
And I was just joking about when you saw its eyes, it reminded me of Phosphorus' first form.
Oh, yeah.
So, the Nightmare is kind of a tricky devil in the fact that, well, it has many
Girahim.
forms, one of which is freaking
Aghanim.
Aghanim.
Aghanim,
Oh, no,
not
wait,
Girahim,
I-
sorry, Doi.
You said
got-
Girahim.
Sorry,
I got the
Aghanim.
name wrong, not Phosphora, Pandora.
Oh, yeah, with the fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
gonna keep it-
if you remember, a link to Laddie's pants, you pretty much know how to take care of this form.
Oh, yeah, wow, it has both attacks, too.
Excuse me.
And... damn.
But yeah, no, it's like, honestly, it's kind of amusing in a way where, I mean, even though it is clearly supposed to tie into the fact that this is a sequel to A Link to the Past, they just outright have the Nightmare take the form of this version of Link's worst enemies, that be, the Wizard, and of course, the Big Pork himself.
Honestly,
Later, yeah.
Really quick, can we discuss the games that actually were all like sequels to a previous one? I mean, we had the original Legend of Zelda 2. We have Link's Awakening being
Adventure
a
of Link,
sequel.
then we had Link's Awakening, and then we had Majora's Mask.
Majora's
And then
Mask.
Spirit Tracks.
No, not Spirit Tracks, but
Or
jeez, not you.
Phantom Hourglass. Sorry.
Not my cheese mold on.
And now we're going to have Breath of the Wild 2.
Right.
Oh, jeez!
Oh my gosh!
You guys dismiss it? I would generally consider Spirit Tracks a sequel to Phantom Hourglass.
It's a successor at least.
It's set in the
There
same,
he is.
There's Gan Pork.
It's set in the same
Gan
world.
Pork.
Don't get me wrong, but it's the fact that even though it is set in the same world, it's not the same Link. It's still a technical reincarnation of it. So,
right, it's kind of like those that assume that A Link Between Worlds is like a direct sequel to A Link to the Past, even though it does take a lot of its cues from it. No, it's an all new Link in a similar world. But by the way, when the Nightmare takes the Ganon form, this I argue is the hardest phase because in order to properly hit him, you need to use your Pegasus boots.
You have to charge into him to deal damage?
Yes,
I thought spin attacks work too.
If it does, he doesn't really give you a chance to really use it.
True, because it's
massive damage.
There we go.
And with that, I believe we now have the final form of the Nightmare, where it just goes, screw the gimmicks. I'm just gonna go at you mano a mano.
It's quick. I was gonna say before we finish this boss, I do like this design of it. It's like this coral, ancient, subterranean chamber kind of place.
Yeah, I like it too.
Man, or actually, no, wait, is the boomerang the... Oh, it was.
You killed it with the boomerang.
Wow.
Actually, no, wait, what am I saying? There's still one more...
weapon ever!
I just realized there is one more form where it looks an awful lot like a certain one-eyed prick we come to know later.
Yep, let's be fair, this is the original Vadi.
Just Vadi, and also this is, especially because we have Kirby in this, I almost wonder if this is and especially with Nightmares, I wonder if this is a precursor to Dark Matter.
I mean, I can see it.
Honestly, can we just have Dark Matter back, please? He is the best villain.
Well, we have,
we had Void Termina, but Void Termina was his own thing. He's not...
Well, no, Void Termina, I think...
canon.
Logan, you take over since you're the one that's going to be doing Star Eyes for us later.
It's my head canon, especially because you can actually pause Highness's dialogue, and he uses the quote, and I quote, "We who have dealt with it matter most dark." I think Void Termina is meant to be some sort of primordial form of dark matter.
So basically, he is the demise of the Kirby franchise.
Yeah, honestly, yes.
I thought
that's my headcanon. Anyway.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, I mean, I can't think I'm about to say this. I thought the Kirby's answer to demise was Kirby.
Honestly,
it can be.
Honestly,
thank you and good night.
I'm not sure if that comparison's really apt because, Void Termina came after Dark Matter, but Demise came before Ganondorf.
My eye.
Oh, by the way, did I mention that this phase the boss used to really suck in the original Game Boy? We had to keep switching to the Rock's Feather in case you wanted to use another item.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
This island is going to disappear. Our world is going to disappear.
Thank you, Zelda, for having a shield and a sword be equipable items.
Our world.
You dick.
Our world! Curse you, and look at that cool effect, and kaboom, we win the game.
And thus the Nightmare has been defeated.
But who's the real...
The Windfish can sleep soundly again.
That's the owl.
Oh, sorry. Laddie, you have beaten all the nightmares. Climb the stairs before you.
I will.
Pretty. So yeah, game's over, folks. You can go to sleep now. Actually, no. Okay, no. We do want to see, where this all leads up to. So, enjoy the cutscene.
And now, for my true voice.
No.
For my true voice.
I don't think it's the owl, though.
Hold on. Yeah, it's still the owl.
What? Young lad! Laddie, the hero! You have defeated the nightmares! Now, let's get back to the normal.
Sorry.
You have proven your wisdom, courage, and power.
Just switched between all the voices at this moment.
No. it's like I'm melting away. I'm
destabilizing.
Part of the Windfish's spirit.
I'm destabilizing. Help.
I am the guardian of his dream world.
My world is falling apart.
But one day the nightmares entered the dream and began wreaking havoc.
Yeah, that's all the monsters we saw.
Then you, Laddie, came to rescue the island. I have always trusted in your courage. I knew that you could turn back the nightmares. Flap, flap.
Yes.
Thank you, Laddie.
I can actually sleep for once.
My work is done. The windfish
But you did
will
nothing.
wake soon.
And he floats away.
Goodbye.
Anyway.
Hoot.
Oh, he looks so cute with his little eyes closed.
And now...
Let's see what the windfish looks. Oh, hello, fabulous!
Ah,
It's a wind whale.
Hey... So you were what was speaking to
I
us.
swallowed Pinocchio.
No, no.
I am the windfish.
Uh-huh.
Long has been my slumber.
Have you seen a wooden
Could you
boy
please not
anywhere?
look so silly, sir?
In my dreams, an egg appeared.
Uh-huh.
It was surrounded by an island with people, animals,
Sir, you get upset?
an entire world.
When you realize the windfish is literally a Lovecraftian deity.
Probably.
But verily, it be the nature of dreams to end.
Verily.
Mm-hmm.
When I dost awaken, Koholint will be gone.
Aww.
Only the memory of this dreamland will exist in the waking world. Someday, thou may recall the island.
Remake it, in fact. Remaster it.
That memory makes the dream world real and viable for redemption.
Sequels.
Sequels galore.
Come,
Laddie.
Yes, suddenly no
Come,
subtitles.
Laddie.
awaken together.
Yeah, suddenly no caps lock for that again. Oh,
Play the 8 instruments. Play that funky music, white boy.
dun, dun,
Play
dun.
that fucking music, wild boy.
Also, if I may add on to that, I gotta say, what a hell of a glow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm not
the-
going to lie.
it
I
is.
love how the windfish looks in this game. Oh, and
But
now
unfortunately,
for this,
as we play the music, it's time for everything to fade to light.
this sad shit.
it does feel so good.
And the monsters that came with it.
Aww.
So who's the
is
real
sad.
villain now?
Oh, thank goodness! What the-
I finally found the mushroom.
And she sings a song of oblivion.
It is
Okay,
sad,
no, it's
though.
really not that dramatic. But with that said, time to wipe out that background painting.
Oh wow.
Time to take out that image that would be used in Wind
But
Waker.
wait, what about Link?
Oh
Oh,
crap.
don't worry, he'll still be fine. He just goes up the VIP section.
Ah!
I heard you like waterfalls.
Now then, let us wash off this toyetic art style and go back to something a little more proper.
Hurry to a different art style.
Anime visuals.
Woohoo!
Beard. Beard.
Another beard.
Mine,
Is there a third
mine,
beard?
Mine,
No.
mine.
No third beard.
Oh, jeez.
I almost thought he had crab claw arms. I almost thought he had crab claw arms with the shading on the tunic.
Crab
Eh?
arms.
But
I could see that.
Even as he awakes, he can still hear the song that Marin played to him that very night.
And we never know if he ever made it back to land.
Well, at least he was able to make a route in quick time. And what's even better, we learned that the windfish was indeed real.
And he's gonna fall on top of Laddie.
Don't worry, he can fly. Oh my god, totally imagine with this tail flap right there.
it's just like a breach.
I just realized the windfish is the original whale lord.
I would play a Zelda game that looked like this. Just saying.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, and because Laddie didn't die once.
Well, let's say that for after the credits, because
I thought it happened before the credits. Okay,
I
go
mean,
ahead, James.
all things considered, pretty visuals aside, that, folks, is the end of our commentary of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch.
And now
Yeah.
for Studio Ghibli credits. Like, seriously, this looks gorgeous.
I don't know. It looks great.
I can fly, you know.
Just with
Look
the
at
whole.
my wings.
I mean, just what James said with it being a glow up in general. This is probably one of the most maybe seconded only partially, and I'd say this already beats it, but seconded to maybe Wonder Boy or Samus 2, Samus Returns, like going from start to finish, this is like one of the most like drastic like glow ups of a remaster, like comparing between the two.
Which really does mean something as someone who never had the patience to really beat this game from beginning to end, because that 2-button shit, like, it was a decent enough compromise for, for simplifying an otherwise complex, weapon system with the Link to the Past and whatnot. Mm-hmm. At the same time, though, mostly having grown up with the more recent Zeldas like Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and so on and so forth, you really can't go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, how about you start, James? Your thoughts on the experience, just as a Zelda game?
I mean, I don't care what anyone says. Even with the $60 I had to pay for what's essentially a overhauled version of a 8-bit game you could more or less buy for like $5 or so bucks, I still think it was a worthwhile investment. Like the visuals, the sounds, just the overall gameplay tweaks in general that just make it a far more accessible experience. It's like, if there was a game I could easily recommend for first-time Zelda players, well, I'd probably say A Link Between Worlds first and foremost.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a close second. Like, this is definitely a really, as you said, a really big glow-up, and well worth the price of admission. Assuming, of course, you don't mind the fact that it is essentially just, mostly a shot-for-shot remake of a Game Boy classic.
Which I guess, I'm sorry.
Oh, hey!
Ooh.
Oh, Mahito Yokota. That was the composer for Mario Galaxy.
Oh, really?
I was also about to say, crap, what was my other train of... Damn, I lost my train of thought.
We brought up the Game Boy thing, how this became accessible for people, because
I can't think of too many games out there where it started off originally as a game for like a portable, like a Game Boy game, and get the remake treatment for a console, an HD console at that.
Right. Okay.
And thank you very much, Grezzo, for this wonderful treat.
Oh, and now we're gonna get to the point where, since James managed to beat the game, maybe save scum a bit, but beat the game without dying a single time.
There's a little addition to this ending sequence, which was also the original game.
We're not the only one whose wish was granted.
Or if you listen out there in the distance, Mara got her wish granted too. She doesn't look that bad in this style.
I turned into a rat with wings.
She can fly and sail and soar and find what else is out there, but...
And I know there's a lot of people that have a fan theory. I mean, I'm honestly on board with it. She was probably the seagull that led Link back to shore.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
She probably did. She wanted to find where she wanted to see new lands.
You know what? As cute as that is it wrong for me to say that kind of seems like a weak reward for trying to go through the game without dying once, just to be like, oh, okay, so I went through the game without dying once, what do I get? Oh, an extra 5 seconds of Marin laughing.
Better than most.
I mean, I'll be fair. I do think it feels like something they should have just made it. It's kind of like the whole 106% ending in Crash 4. They should have just made it like a natural part of the ending, as opposed to making you work hard for it. Even then, with the Link's Awakening, especially with the Switch version, it's really not that hard at all to beat the game without dying. So if you have the patience for it, I would say it's much easier to do it here than it is in the original game, especially with all that button management you have to worry about.
It would have been different if it was, say, beat the game 100% without dying. Then that would have been a pretty steep, so I guess moving on with our thoughts, I was actually curious, since just because she was you have some of the most experience with this. Celie, what did you think of this remake?
I like the remake. I mean, I'm not sure if I mean, we talked about it time and time again. I would definitely play this version more than the original if given the chance, which I do. I own the game. But I like both games equally. I mean, each one had their own charm to it. Link's Awakening, the original Link's Awakening being the first ever Game Boy game, being black and white. Of course, it didn't really look black and white. It was kind of a reddish hue black and white, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's also the DX release, which did have those, interesting little photo ops, which were unfortunately omitted from the remake.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I wish they did put in the remake, and they would have redone those little fun little cute things, but with the anime art style of the opening and ending. Oh, that like a chibi version of it.
Which, if I can actually dial back a bit, that does also lead to another, like, the one big problem I do have with this game, and I guess some people will use as a counter argument against the $60 price tag. The add-ons they make for the remake, at least beyond the game, they do sort of feel like a takeaway. I mean, not counting the overall quality of life improvements, because those were much indeed a blessing. But the Dompe Shack stuff is very much half-baked.
And it seems odd that we lost, say, the cute little photo thingy with, like, the cute little portraits for that.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a very small thing of it that did return for this, but that's only just for the sake of that one Peach photo that could have very well been its own drawing as opposed to just reusing a promotional material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm so terribly sorry. Continue your thoughts, Seeley.
But yeah, I mean, I like the game. I like the game as a whole, and it's phenomenal. For a remake, it's phenomenal, and I really hope that the Oracle Seasons and Ages gets the same treatment, and that they finish that game. They said they were going to all those years ago, but never did. So just remake it from the ground up.
That would be. I would be okay with that. I would like to explore that series again. Hype. What did you think?
I think I'll let Matt go next.
Okay, go ahead, Matt. But the Awakening.
I do think it is a very marked improvement over the original Awakening. I do think it is a great game. I still prefer A Link Between Worlds, but that doesn't mean this is bad. This is still really well done and really good, and though it is shorter, it feels like a full experience. So yeah. I give it that leeway. There are a few things I wish they did differently, like the fucking Dompe's shack and stuff like that, and and I don't know. I still think that it is a very, very well constructed remake.
Hmm. And then I pretty much mirror their thoughts. I think the toy box aesthetic is a really cute way to play with the idea of how compressed and small all the sprites looked on the Game Boy, while also giving it a unique identity that this game now has for itself with its presentation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The combat, I definitely love the quality of life improvements we got. Mapping things to more buttons was great. That's pretty much my. This was not like my big go-to Zelda, but I'm glad I got to experience it that way. Hype.
I have similar thoughts to everyone else in the sense of, like, as far as remakes go, I do think this is like a pretty textbook example of a very solid remake. You know, just fixing a lot of the problems that the original had and whatnot. I'm not sure if it's something I personally would go out of my way to play, because, like, as much as I appreciate all of the improvements this game had, Link's Awakening as a whole isn't exactly a Zelda game I have a particularly strong attachment to, so I don't really see myself really, like, going out of my way to play it, but I still do appreciate all that I tried to do, and honestly, it just kind of makes me curious as to what exactly is going to be, you know, happening from here on, because it's like, I know we have Breath of the Wild 2 still in development, but that's still going to take a long while, but seeing the Link's Awakening remake kind of makes me curious about, like, what do you think they could do next, you know, while we're still waiting for Breath of the Wild 2? Like, would they, like, cave in and give us another remake, or give us, like, another original top-down Zelda with this new engine, or, like, well, what do you guys think?
I personally think that, well, considering that Grezzo are pretty much their top Zelda remakers, for lack of a better word, and they've more or less proven themselves with the likes of Link's Awakening, I could totally see them reusing the engine for the sake of, as Seeley mentioned before, remaking the Oracle games, or, personally speaking, I would also like to see them maybe use it for the sake of remaking Minish Cap.
Here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
If they do remake those games, here's the thing. I think that the Link's Awakening remake is great, but there is one problem I have. It chugs in some places.
Oh yeah, no, like, one thing they do need to take into account is that, like, I mean, granted, Link's Awakening, they were testing the waters with it, in the fact that with the overworld, it was all as seamless, they tried to make it more seamless, but it also really shows why they had to settle with, you know, box-to-box transitions in the first place, because it does...
Let's be fair, Link Between Worlds did a very similar thing, but that ran so smooth. That ran incredibly smooth.
Well, it's also because, Matt, they still use those transitions.
That's fair.
Right, they did still do that, but...
So I would say, like, if they... I mean, with that in mind, I think no one would really argue if they did just bring back the transitions, just for the sake of making the entire experience silky smooth from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, with everyone's thoughts more or less out of the way, thank you all for watching our Laddie's Awakening commentary, and, from here, we have two particular Zelda projects we could jump into next. From Seely's end, we have Majora's Mask. On my end, we have, as I mentioned before, my favorite Zelda game of all time.
A Laddie between woes?
Not exactly, considering the fact that Laddie is not the star of that one, and I'll explain. I'll go further into that once we start on that. But whichever of the two we start first, we hope you all enjoy what comes next. And I'm James Mainstream.
I'm Lucky Jack 20. Yay.
I'm Hylian Princess Lita.
I'm the owl. Hoot hoot.
Thanks, Owly.
And all that glitters is gold.
Only shooting.
We'll break the mold.
The only other thing I could think of to end off this would have been something like freaking. I'm still recording. Like it was just something where it was like, so Nintendo, you're remastering Game Boy games. I see. Hmm?
We're not doing you, Wario.
Hint, hint, Nintendo.
You know, I have a couple of games on the Game Boy that could use a bit of a touch-up.
Break out the Virtual Boy, boys!
This recording's been going on way too long. We gotta cut it sometime.
Remaster Trilogy 2022.
Bye!
Burn that tape for all of us.